Hey cunts. Oh, that was a new one. I'll address you guys by your real names. Hey faggots, welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a video on Laci Green. Once again, Laci Green rant part 2. Probably the last one. Woohoo!
Hi everyone, I'm in New York and I'm on the Decoded set and I'm here with internet badass Francesca Ramsey of MTV Decoded.
No, God, why? Fuck, not fucking Francesca Ramsey. Oh, good God. Actually, fun fact about Francesca Ramsey, or that little fucking bitch auto-blocks people on Twitter. I am blocked on Twitter by Francesca Ramsey. Look at that. Yeah, she fucking blocked me. I've never tweeted at her. I've never even made a video about Francesca Ramsey, and I'm already blocked by that bitch. So for those of you who don't know, she hosts this fucking video on MTV News called MTV Decoded, and it's awful. I'll probably do a video on Francesca Ramsey at some point, just like this Laci Green video.
We talked about feminism a lot on Braless, and as you've started to learn more, maybe you've heard this big word intersectionality tossed around a bit.
Maybe you've asked yourself what it is, why it's important, or what's the meaning of life.
This piece of shit, by the way, is supposed to be a motherfucking comedian. I know this video is about Laci Green, and don't worry, we're gonna get into that little fucker in a little bit too, but Francesca Ramsey is here for a second, and she's supposed to be a goddamn comedian, and I don't get it. But no, the questions people are genuinely asking about intersectional feminism is how come it's ruining our college campuses?
I have done my research. I've done my research. You're fucking white male! Yes!
How did it get so rampant, and why did it fucking kill feminism? So yeah. Fuck you.
So we can definitely help with those first two questions, but maybe not the last one?
Intersectionality means looking at the intersections of people's identities. It's a type of feminism that looks at how women of different backgrounds experience oppression.
See, this doesn't sound too bad in concept, you know, looking at the different problems that I can't speak today. Looking at the different problems that people have depending on who they are and depending on their way they grew up. The problem is when they take us to a level where they start to ignore other people's problems just because they may not be as bad as others. This ignores the fact that problems are relevant to your life and not relevant to anyone else. Intersectional feminism also tends to silence voices of white males, white people, and males in general. Because for some reason, their opinions, their expressions, etc. are no longer as valuable as anyone else's, which is pretty much the definition of racism and sexism. How ironic. The movement that seems to try and fight against racism and sexism and ableism and all the other fucking isms out there is also one of the only movements nowadays that is genuinely causing it, at least in the Western world. How fucking ironic. They're so fucking unaware of the fact that they're racist and sexist that it's almost sad. They've made it so that, get this, racism is no longer a thing against white people.
Black people can absolutely be prejudiced, but they have not held the power in this country to actually systemically oppress a white person.
And sexism is no longer a thing against men. What?
So for all you sciencey babes out there, it's basically shining a light through a prism to look at all the different wavelengths. Yeah, we're all women, but it's not enough to just look at the white light. Our background and our identities and the issues that are affecting us are very diverse, just as diverse as the colors of the rainbow.
Good one. I can't fucking speak. See, the problem is with doing this is we start to ignore problems of people that don't have as bad of problems as other people, and that's not a fair way to look at our world. Just because I have problems, although I can drink water and eat food, that doesn't mean we should ignore it because there's kids in Africa that can't drink water or eat food. Our problems are relevant to ourselves, and we mustn't look at it in a way of privilege, a way of ignoring others because some problems aren't as bad as others. Now, how many adults have you heard say, oh, fucking just be happy with the food you have because at least you can eat. There's kids in Africa that can't fucking eat. And you were sitting there thinking to yourself, like, that's just not fair. I don't like this food. I can eat other food. You have different food in the house, Mom. That is the sort of argument we have going on here, and it's sad, and it's just dumb. And it's not going to fix anything. And until we look at every single problem as one big problem and try and fix them all, nothing's going to get done.
Men of color, trans women, lesbians, bisexual women, asexual women, women with disabilities, women with mental illness, old women, young girls, diverse body types, poor women, immigrant women, there's so many women!
And basically every woman that the mainstream feminist movement has a bad habit of leaving behind.
Now, I thought feminism was a movement for, get this, gender equality. What about men? Can't we bring up men in this situation too? If feminism is genuinely about equality between the genders, shouldn't we also bring up the different types of men? I'm standing on your side for a second, looking at your side of the argument, and for some reason believe in privilege, which I don't believe in it for a fucking second. Shouldn't we also bring men into the question, not just fucking women? Now here's the other thing. What goes into this whole privilege thing? Because I know there's like women of color, women that are immigrants, etc. But what about like, I don't know, women with allergies? I know Christina Hoff Sommers brings that up. Or what about you, Laci? You have these huge boobs. Does that mean that you have a little bit less privilege than girls with small boobs? boobs because your boobs hurt your back or something? Or do you have more privilege because guys a majority of the time like bigger boobs? Like, what is going into this whole privilege thing, and what is defined as giving you more privilege? Because so far I've only just gotten certain things that give you more privilege. I haven't shown what goes into privilege and what creates something that has more privilege than other things. I can't continue looking at Francesca Ramsey's fucking face any longer, so let's move on to the next video.
Are gender stereotypes on your holiday wish list this year? Nope, but we'll all be getting some anyway.
Please tell me that was a fucking joke. So right off the bat, you're thinking to yourself, oh boy, what, this is a family-friendly porno. No, this is MTV Braless with Laci Green. Disgusting, horrendous, and absolutely fucking horrible is what this is.
What's up everyone, Laci Green here. When I was a kid, I had a lot of girl toys. Who remembers Baby Born? It was that doll that cries and easy fed, craps, and basically does everything that now scares me about children. I had Polly Pocket, Easy Bake Oven. That thing was rad, because what child wouldn't want to mix questionable powders into water and turn it into cake?
So I've written on a video from Laci Green actually on gender stereotypes and why I do believe that they're not necessarily a problem to an extent, of course. I do believe some certain stereotypes are harmful to both men and women. See, but this video is funny because I want to ask her a question real quick. Did you enjoy the girl toys that you had to play with, or did you enjoy the boy toys that you didn't get to play with? Or did you never want to play with the boy toys? Because I assume that you wanted to play with the girl toys because girl toys are more fun for girls, because they're meant for girls.
Stepping into the toy aisle in my 20s is still weird. It's super high tech, but it's also like, wait, did I step back in time? The girl aisle, pink and purple, princesses and dress up, futuristic cooking and crafting and baby stuff. It's like Little House on the Prairie meets the Jetsons.
While I do believe that putting colors onto different genders is a little bit silly, I don't exactly mind having pink and purple being for girls. I don't think it really matters, and I don't think it's necessarily a very harmful thing, although I think it's a little bit silly. Although as you grow up and you get a little bit older, you realize that those stereotypes tend to just go away. This is more of a childish stereotype. But here's where the real kicker comes in when she talks about princesses, babies, and cooking items. I do believe that babies are more of a female thing because, get this, females give birth. But when you're a child, you don't exactly know that, so here's what you're going to base it off of. You want to be like your mother. If you're a little girl, you want to be like the closest figure that's just like you in your life, which when you're between the ages of, like, you know, just born and, like, 4... Jesus fucking Christ. That is almost always your mother or your father if you have a single father. In that case, they normally don't want to play with babies. The thing with the mother is the fact that they have given birth to a baby, so the baby wants to be like the mother, so they want to play with the baby and be like mommy. And then when it comes to being a princess, what little girl doesn't want to be a fucking princess, Laci? There's a small majority of 6-year-old boys and younger that have gender dysphoria and want to dress like a fucking princess. Princesses are girls. That's not a gender stereotype. That's just what a princess is, and they've always been so glamoured and pretty. And when it comes to cooking stuff, once again, let's think about this. What figure in life is going to be doing a lot of cooking in their life when they're between the ages of like 0 and 6, where the mother can't exactly work without having a daycare worker, and the children that have daycare workers are fucked, by the way. But if you're at home with your mother and your father, and your mother stays there during the day because she can't exactly work because she has to care for you, she's going to be cooking a lot, and you want to be like your fucking mother, so you're going to want to cook. That's where the cooking items come into play. It's really not that hard to understand.
Election year is a special year. Facebook friendships get really tense. I see Trump's face way more often than I'd like. Canadians laugh at us. Yay! I can't wait.
I ended up deciding to move on from that last video because I've already pretty much done a video on it. I'll leave a link right there. Woo! Click on it if you want to watch my other video on MTV. Don't worry, it'll open up in a new tab. But this video discusses the difference between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and attempts to state that they're pretty much the same, and I just can't help but laugh at her for how stupid she fucking is.
Hey everyone, Laci Green here. Lately my friends have been hotly debating Hillary versus the Bern. What are the real differences between these two, and which has a better track record on women's rights and social justice?
Has Hillary Clinton been fighting for civil rights since the civil rights movement even began? Has Hillary Clinton been fighting for gay rights for over 20 years? Has Hillary Clinton been fighting for the rights of others for years? Did Hillary Clinton vote for the Iraq War? I think she did. Bernie Sanders was easily a better choice, and I can't believe you guys fucking chose Hillary. You guys, she's awful. She's literally awful, and I don't know how you chose her. I can't help but believe you chose her because she has a vagina. Sorry, not sorry, but I think that's why. You guys are so hellbent on getting a woman president that you forgot to look at what she fucking stands for. Yes, of course, a woman president would be cool and all. I don't fucking care whether or not the gender is woman or man. I think that we should be voting people in based on what we believe. And I think that's not what you guys are doing in this situation. You're just glad that she's also a Democrat.
The first thing that you should know is that when Hillary and Bernie were both senators, they voted the same way 93% of the time. So they're not besties, but close. On issues of abortion, parental leave, and the pay gap, Hillary and Bernie vote the same. Hillary has long been an outspoken advocate for women. Her quote that women's rights are human rights has been repeated around the world.
A majority of the things that they're voting on that they both agree on are things that are both a part of the Democratic Party, a party that they're both belong to, so of course they're going to vote pretty much the same. The difference is their track record. Hillary Clinton has not stuck to her beliefs her entire life, unlike Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has stuck to his belief for years upon years. Ever since he was very young in his 20s, he's been voting and doing shit for what he's believed in, and he's pretty much stayed the same the entire time. Shut up, phone. Stop. What did I fucking tell you? The other issue is the fact that Hillary Clinton lies. Hillary Clinton lies every 5 fucking seconds. She flip-flops, she lies, and she is not consistent for the fucking life of her. I'll link a video down below which showed Hillary Clinton lying for 13 minutes straight, or you can click it on screen here. Once again, it'll go into a different tab, and I'd recommend you pause it and just watch the rest of this videos, but you do your thing.
On racial justice issues, both Hillary and Bernie stand in support with the Black Lives Matter movement and have criminal justice reform plans.
Yes, of course they both support the Black Lives Matter movement, a movement that is widely accepted as a good movement in this day and age. Although I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment, it's true, they're going to go with what is the wildly accepted thing in our society, which at this point is accepting Black Lives Matter. But here's where you fall short. It's not like they're both equal here, because Bernie Sanders has been fighting for civil rights longer than he's been fighting for LGBT rights. He's been fighting for the civil rights since the 1950s, and he's walked with Martin Luther King. He's stayed consistent, not just on LGBT rights, which you bring up in a second here, but also with his civil rights. Don't try and hide that, Laci.
On LGBT rights, Bernie has a consistent record, whereas Clinton only came on board more recently. So where does that 7% disagreement come in? There are a few key issues. As we saw in the debates, Hillary and Bernie disagree on gun control. Hillary has strongly advocated for comprehensive gun control and has proposed a plan to match. Bernie's record is inconsistent here. He voted in favor of an assault weapons ban, but then voted against comprehensive gun control in 1993.
So what you're saying is that Bernie Sanders has been on the side of LGBT people longer than Hillary Clinton and voted for a much more reasonable gun law and gun control law, that is. I just don't see what your problem is here. I have a feeling that you're like, well, Bernie Sanders voted for this gun thing, ha ha ha, when really what he was doing was stating that, yeah, okay, guns aren't necessarily an awful problem, but we do need to control assault rifles and guns that can kill people and are intended to fucking kill people. I have been recording this video for way too long, and I think I just need to fucking end it. It's like 14 minutes long at this point, so my apologies for it being late, for one. Literally, it's just been taking me too long to record, and also a lot of shit has happened in my life, so whatever. Lick that subscribe button with your toenails. That was gross. That was just gross. I need to stop.